my name's Karl Sergi for Sergi's Deli and Spalding, and today we're at Crow Tree Farm to meet Patrick Muse, one of our local farmers who produces some really good rare breed quality beef. And one of the reasons I'm coming to see him today is I want to get some Dexter beef, and we're going to make a lovely beef stew with some local ale, which you'll see later.
The dominant breed here is Dexter. That's most of the black ones.
Yeah.
They're our smallest native breed, originally from Ireland. It was known as the Kerry, the Irish hill cow. They came over to England in about 1882 by Mr. Dexter. And to continue with the theme, we've got a Hereford. There's a breeding Hereford over there, breeding heifer, which we use as well. So we've got quite a mixture of the traditional native breeds.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a nice stew when I've finished.
There'll be one for you in about a year's time.
That sounds good to me. That'll be stocked up in my lovely little deli with any luck. And the girls are right on cue. That's what we like to see. Right. Lovely. Well, we've got our beef now. We've been and met the girls. So all that's left to do now is go back to the kitchen. Let's cook up some lovely stuff. Thank you very much. Hello Tony, nice to see you again, mate.
Hi, Karl, nice to see you too.
Yeah, how's things all right?
Oh, can't be better, can't be better.
Jolly
Things going well.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Well, I've come to see you about to get some ale for a lovely beef stew I'm going to make, so I'm hoping you can show me your wares and see what we can do.
Well, I think we've got a nice pale beer that would go down really well with that.
Oh, well.
Interested?
Let's have a look,
Let's
yes.
have a taste. So what kind of beer are you looking for then, Karl? Is it a nice dark, full-bodied, full malty one, or something a bit more pale?
Well, I mean, for this beef stew, I'm looking for a nice light ale, you know, something like a nice session beer, something like that. Not that we're going to drink it; it's going to go in the stew, but something too light, nothing too rich.
Do save some of it to drink though, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you've got three choices, I reckon. There's Flower Power, which is a nice pale, light beer, very hoppy, gone down well in beer festivals.
Yep.
A nice summer drinking beer.
Yep, that's
That's one of them.
That's very nice looking. There's that one.
You know all the dark porter beers.
Try the porters.
Not your pigeon
Bit too
today.
strong for this job.
Golden ale, bit stronger in terms of taste, bit stronger in terms of flavour. Nice 4.5%. Would give some nice flavours to your stew, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's quite nice as well.
Well, the other one, which is a little bit lighter, a bit more refreshing maybe, a bit more hot flavoured in there, is the 8 Sail Ale.
Must got a nice hoppy flavour, has it?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, I think the 8 Sail, I mean, we should have a little taste, I think, but I think this could be the beast. So maybe we'll have a little taste and see what we think.
I was about to say, tasting would be the proof of the pudding, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Good idea.
Right, let's have a little taste then.
Excellent.
Oh, listen to that lovely sound. The glug, 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 glug.
Good sound, good taste.
A nice glug of the ale.
There you go.
Look at
How
that.
does that suit you?
That looks fabulous, doesn't it?
Nice nose on it.
Oh, it's got a lovely nose and it's got that. It's not too bitter. It's just
I think that will go down well in the stew.
bottoms up.
Cheers.
That's lovely. That's really nice. It's got a nice hoppy flavour. It's light. It's refreshing. And you can see half of it not going in the stew, couldn't you?
I reckon there'll be quite a bit going not in the stew.
It could be going in this stew here.
Oh dear, Karl, oh dear. Not again.
No, that's a shame. That's lovely. No, I think that's a job, definitely.
Good, excellent. Here you go, Karl.
Oh, thank you very much.
Nice to see you again. I think you might need that while you're cooking.
Yeah,
I'll keep you going.
Yeah, I'll use that one and I'll drink them too.
I'm sure you will.
Thank you very much. It's been a brilliant afternoon.
Thank you, Karl. Take care.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hello there, my name's Karl Sergi and I'm a local chef from Sergi's Delicatessen in Spalding. Now today we're going to be preparing a lovely beef stew. Now all these ingredients are on the website, and if you'd like to download them before you start cooking with me today, we'll be able to go ahead. Today's ingredients, you will need a kilo of diced chuck steak, which preferably using local beef would be good, Lincoln Red or Dexter, some local ale or stout but not lager. You need 2 onions, medium size, 2 medium carrots, 2 sticks of celery, 2 cloves of garlic, a small bunch of rosemary, 2 bay leaves, half a litre of beef stock, obviously the ale is around about half a litre as well, salt and pepper, and some plain flour and some tomato puree. Today I've got a broccoli stalk that I'm going to use, which is, you know, people always throw it away, but it's a great thing to bung in a stew and it cooks up like a lovely piece of green vegetables. Fabulous stuff, but you don't have to use it, it's optional. Today's dish, the beef stew, will take around about, with prep time, about 2 hours. Where basically you'll need to prepare the vegetables, prepare the beef, and then when we cook it, the cooking time is around about 90 minutes. So with preparation of 30 minutes, cooking time of 90 minutes, it's around about 120 minute, 2 hour mark. We've got our pan on high. We've got some local rapeseed oil from Lincolnshire. Put that in our pan. Now to give our sauce a nice rich thickness, we're going to use a little bit of flour, which we're going to dust over our beef before we fry it. So just get yourself a little handful of flour, probably a tablespoon's worth. Put that onto your beef and just turn the beef over in the flour, like so, just to give it a nice coating. So when we come to fry it, the flour will cook, and then when we make the stew, this will give our sauce a rich, thick shine. Okay, done that there. Okay, wash your hands as well. Get rid of that flour. Our oil's in the pan, smoking hot. You want this really, really hot. If it's not hot, then what happens, the beef will boil in the pan rather than fry. We want to fry to seal in all the natural flavours and juices. And then we should be able to hear a nice sizzle. There we go. Now here we've got about a kilo of a kilo of beef. But we don't want to put it all in the pan at once, because what again will happen is the heat will be taken out of the pan and it won't fry. It'll boil. Now while those first few pieces are frying, into the pan there, put it back, we'll prepare our vegetables. We've got our garlic here, give it a bit on the board, give it a good whack. Another good whack there, and then just chop away. Now the garlic is optional. If you don't like garlic, leave the garlic out. There's a just rough chop there. Carrot cut in half, half again, and half again. And just cut at an angle so that you get nice little lozenge. Keeping an eye on our beef all the time. Move it out of the pan. Toss it in the air. And you get that lovely aroma as well. Carry on cutting our vegetables. We'll pop these in a nice bowl, get them out of the way so it works nice and tidy. Into there. Got our beef, another little toss. Keep it moving. You should be able to see now it's getting lovely and dark brown. That's what we want. We want it very, very well fried. Just add flavour and depth to the sauce. Take the celery again, cut it in half to make it easier to chop. cut it in half again, and then half again. And you want them quite chunky, because otherwise this is going to be in the oven for up to 2 hours. So you do need it quite chunky, or the vegetables all tend to disappear. And there. There for a second. Now this beef's ready to go into our saucepan now. We'll just pop that in there. We'll get a little bit more oil, and we'll fry off some more beef. There. Remember, don't fill your pan up. It will be quicker than not filling your pan up. We can carry on with our other vegetables. The garlic, keep separate, because that will go in a bit later. So it won't go in the same time as the other vegetables. And we've got our broccoli stalk here, that's just most people throw away. And just cut it in half, and then half again. Check to make sure it's all nice and lovely inside. And just chop. Knobbly bits and all. Pop those in there as well. We've got the onions, same principle. We've done them quite large. We don't want them breaking up and disappearing into the ether. Going lovely. We've got our vegetables in there. All the lovely veggies are in there. Garlic cap to the side. Rosemary on the side here as well. And our tomato puree there. Ready for when we finish frying the beef. Can get a bit smoky, but you know, it's all fun of cookery. And if you're doing the hard work, you've got your other half to do the washing up. And nicely fried off now. And there. And the next bit, last few bits. There we go. Down there now, spread them out a bit. Right, so we've just got to fry these off now, and they're going to be wonderful. There's a little other thing we're going to do with this dish is some sage dumplings, my granny's old recipe. There's no suet in this, it's just butter and self-raising flour, some fresh chopped sage. And they only take 10 minutes to cook. So once we've got this in the oven, we'll get these made, the dumplings made, ready to go in for the last 10 minutes of cookery once they're in the oven. Now, we've got our ale here. This is just a pale ale. You could use stouts if you wished, but I wouldn't suggest using lager. It needs to be a real ale. Okay, we'll open that bottle there and wish it didn't do that, because we're going to have to put some in there now. It's bubbled over a bit, but don't worry. Put a bit in there anyway, to stop it bubbling over. You don't have to toss it in the air like that. You can actually use your tongs if you wish. I'm just being flash. Right, beef fried. next job, we're going to fry off our vegetables. There's lovely residues left in this pan from the beef. There's some lovely flavours, so we don't want to waste them. So we will add our vegetables to this pan. I'm just going to toss them around for a little while, just to get a bit of colour on them. And then we'll add them to our pot here. As you can see in the pot here, we've got some, the beef's all lovely and fried now. We're going to add the tomato puree, the vegetables, some of the lovely fresh rosemary. There's some lovely fresh rosemary here. Just dust a few little bits off. Just put them in there. Beef and rosemary go very, very well together. It's not just lamb. Also we've got one bay leaf. A bit of flavour. There as well. And it's just a little touch as well. Shame you can't smell this. It smells fabulous. But I'm sure if you're following along with me now, yours smells as good. So we've got those fried off now. And now we're going to add them to our pan. Into there. In fact, give it another quick toss. And I'll put it into there. And now bring that to the heat on there. Okay. We should get the bubble, hubble, bubble, boil and trouble now. Look at that. Get nice and hot, and now we're going to add our tomato puree. Now if you've got a tub, about 2 tablespoons. If you've got to squirt it like this, 2 good squirts. 1, 2. Lid back on. Leave that there for now. Got the tomato puree in there now. We're going to mix that all together. And tomato puree is actually raw. It isn't a cooked product, so we need to cook it in the pan first before we add our stock and our ale. Okay. Now's the time to add our garlic. The reason we didn't add it earlier is it will burn much earlier than the other vegetables. So there. And of course, salt and pepper. Don't be frightened of salt. We all need a bit of salt. It really enhances the flavour of products. If you've got a condition that says you can't use salt, then there's a product called low salt you can use. But it'll make your food taste much better if you do season correctly. And pepper, that's the taste. I love pepper, so we'll have lots. Okay. Now we'll add our ale, whole bottle, to a kilo of beef. Okay. Give that a little stir. And already that flour's starting to work. We can feel the nice unctuousness and the thickness of the sauce already. Now in this pan here, I've got some ready-made beef stock that I've made. But I mean, if you haven't got time to make beef stock, you can always use a bouillon. There's some good bouillons on the market. We give them about half a litre of the beef stock. Excuse me. Just enough to cover your beef, so your beef's completely covered in the pan. And now all we're going to do is pop it in the oven for about 90 minutes on gas mark 6, temperature 180C for a fan, 200 for non-fan. But before we go into the oven, what we need to do, make sure it comes to the boil. If you put something in the oven that hasn't already boiled, it will take twice as long to come to the boil in the oven because there's no direct heat. And the reason is we don't have a direct, we put it in the oven and don't have direct heat because we've got this sauce ready, it's ready thickening already. If we left it on the stove, you'd have to constantly keep checking it and stirring it because it will stick to the bottom. With the aid of the oven, we can put it in the oven and it'll just simmer away lovely, it won't stick at all. Promise. So that's come to the boil now. We'll pop the lid on. Straight in our oven. As I say, we'll leave that for around about 90 minutes and then we'll check it. We'll check it after about 70 minutes, then about 90 minutes, and after 80 minutes, the dumplings we're going to make, we will pop them on the top, lid back on, in the oven for 10 minutes, come out, beautiful. Our beef stew's now been in the oven for around about an hour and 10 minutes, so it's now time to make our dumplings. Now the reason we didn't make our dumplings beforehand was that it's made with self-raising flour, and the chemical reaction with the bicarbonate of soda and the water would react too early if we made them earlier, and we'd lose that initial rise for our dumplings. Hence the reason we're making them now, 20 minutes before the end. They only take 10 minutes to cook, so it's 10 minutes to make, 10 minutes to cook. Now the ingredients are 8 ounces of self-raising flour, some fresh sage, which we're going to chop and add to our dumplings to give them a nice sagey flavour, and 2 ounces of butter. You can use vegetable fat as well, but remember to use a one that's got a high fat content of at least 65% or above. 65-70% is perfect. Normally it says on the side suitable for baking. So we'll go ahead and make it now. So we've got 8 ounces of self-raising flour into our bowl. We've got our bit of salt and pepper, have to season it. And some pepper. We'll get to one side for a second. We'll get our sage leaves. And if you get your sage leaves and keep them in a nice little pile together like that, then you can just do them all in one go and just finely shred them. There we go. Let's pick it up, make sure it's all broken up nicely. Okay, and then throw that into your flour mix as well. Give that a little blend with your finger just to make sure they're dispersed between the mixture properly. Get the butter, which is now very soft, and we're going to add that to our flour. Plonk it in. There. And then just rub it in like you would do if you're making pastry or something like that. Just so we can get the that texture of like fine breadcrumbs. And you'll see that if the butter's nice and soft, it happens in seconds. It doesn't take long at all. And you can do it that way, put your hands together and do it that way. That's the way I prefer to do it. You get it done a bit quicker. And these really are superb dumplings and take no time at all. As you can see there, in under a couple of minutes we've got the nice texture of like fine breadcrumbs. All that lovely fat's now blended with the flour. And this is where we can add some liquid, some water, a little bit at a time. You can always add more, you can't take it out. And just blend that in to get a nice dumpling sort of dough. Okay, blend them up, start mixing it. You should see it start to come together in the bowl. You get the nice texture there. A little bit more water, just a tad. Remember, you can always add, you can't take it away. A little bit more. When you finish making the dumpling mix, you should end up with pretty much a clean bowl. Okay. The excess bits. There's your dumpling mixture, there's your clean bowl. Lovely and clean. Put that to one side and just quickly work this again on your board, on your work surface, just to make sure it's all mixed nicely. Get the excess bits off your fingers. Okay. These are lovely big hearty dumplings. Yeah, they can replace the potato in your dish if you wish, but I like both, to be honest. So we've got our dumplings, break it in half, break it in half again, that one in half again. Okay, make a little ball. Nice and rustic, nice and chunky. Because when they cook in the pan, they'll all expand and become delicious. And remember, these have not got suet in them, they've got butter in them, so they've got a nice rich taste, and they only take 10 minutes to cook. And you can cook them in the oven, you haven't got to boil them on the stove. So we get our stew out of the oven. Onto the stove there. And as you can see, it's a lovely, rich, shiny sauce. And all we do is get our 4 dumplings, evenly distribute them around the pan, top of the pan. You can't get more than 4 in a pan this size really, because they will double in size. And lid back on. In 10 minutes, hey presto, we've got dumplings and stew. Okay, now the beef stew's been in for its full time now. The dumplings have been in for their allotted 10 minutes, so we'll get it out of the oven and have a look, and hopefully it should be ready. So there. Okay, so right, we've got them out. Let's set the lid off and have a wee look. Oh, look at them. Absolutely delicious, really glorious. Doubled in size and ready to go. So we'll get our spoon. Move that one to the side, put that there. Yeah, get a nice big chunk of stew. Bring it to our pan. This is a good hearty portion. Imagine the lads have been out playing football all day, or rugby or something. So you can give them a couple of lovely dumplings. Stick them in the middle. Move that to the side. And perhaps if you've got a little bit of green in your garden, a bit of parsley, a bit of sage, anything like that, plonk a piece on top. And there you have a beautiful beef stew with sage dumplings, made with local ingredients. And remember, all these recipes are available on the website. There are more to view, and happy cooking.